Now, there's some difference since we've had kids, but
So that was my second part, is you having kids, you may not like want to go back and like actually experience it for yourself. But since you had those experiences, maybe in like your head, you want to have that experience for your kids and yourself, like your parents had with you. Does that make sense?
yes. And I think about this a lot, which is this was whenever I was kind of giving you the precursor to this was the part that I told you I didn't want to bring up until we got to this point in the conversation. But so I've thought many a times, like particularly, like for instance, like whenever we go to the dentist and then we go over to Entertain Mart, which is a lot like whenever we went to St. Joe for something that we needed, and then we would go over to Hastings.
Yeah.
And it makes me remember that's the time that I feel like things that we did back then are really overlapping with my kids. But, you always have these I feel like you always have these second guess thoughts about like, am I doing enough with my kids? Am I doing things that my kids are going to remember? And then whenever you start thinking about like that trip, or even whenever I start thinking about like going to the movie store with my mom and all that stuff, like, I guess it gives me some confidence that I am doing things that they'll eventually look back on and think fondly of. But like, because you can't experience it, you can't have the same experience that your kids have, and you don't always absolutely know that that's how the outcome's going to be.
True.
But there's like certain little overlap things like that they almost feel deja vu-y.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That make you realize, okay, well, I think that when Simon gets older, he's going to remember doing these things, and he'll think as fondly of it as I did.
Yeah.
In the same situation.
True.
So I guess it gives me hope that, like, and for anybody out there, that like sometimes just doing whatever needs to be done is still going to generate some type of memory.